me something amazing that has happened for you this week in the comments. Okay. I got to meet up with one of my friends and clients. She was a friend first, now a client, Selena, and it was amazing. So we got to meet up this morning and it was just such a blessing. So super cool to get to meet up with her, get to say hello. Saw a miracle happen in a coffee shop, like really cool. Like literally a computer that wasn't working started working again after we prayed over it, which was super cool. So I see Kathy is live and on time, which I love. I don't even know how to say that. Honeyo, New York. I love it. Kathy says, just planned out April team promo. Come on, girl. Oh, I gotta grab my air horn. Come on, y'all put some wins and then we'll shoot off the air horn. Which I love. Renee, hello, good to see you, girl. Y'all, I see more of you on here. I can see how many of you are on here and I'm not seeing some wins. Okay. There's a couple other groups that I get to speak on. Is that Angela that I see who's liking it? There's a couple other groups that I get to speak in. And one of them is like a Bible reading call that I do every Friday morning. And the speaker of the group was like, Mary, you can't hold people hostage until they tell you something that they're grateful for or something good that happened this week. And I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna honor you, like all good. I'm still gonna ask, but I won't hold people hostage. I'll start 5 minutes after. However, this is my group. And I'm gonna hold y'all hostage until I hear more good things, okay? Because what we feed will flourish, what you focus on, you get more of. And there is power in putting yourself in a good state before you learn a new skill or you do something that doesn't come natural to you, okay? That's a word, somebody needed that. There you go, that's all you needed. You didn't need to learn how to plan out your content, so you can go. Unless you wanna stay, it's still gonna be a party, okay? Let's see, what else? Renee said she's in Belton, Missouri. I don't know what MO is, wherever MO is. Angela, good to see you, gorgeous. Kim says completed some gruesome training. Oh, girl, that is good. We love getting some hard training in. I don't know if it's like physical, whatever, it's good. Angela's agreeing with me. I totally can. Thank you. I appreciate that, you know? And if it's not flying with people, me keeping you hostage until you tell me something good, then I don't think that we're the right people, because I know who my people are. Okay, my party people, come on, get that. Okay, Renee, you're getting some movement in, which is so good. Dawn, 3 new clients this week. All right. Jessica, so good to see you again, gorgeous. I love new friends and getting to see them here. Oh, Missouri. MO is Missouri. Heather, so good to see you. Always so fun seeing your face. Lydia, you've had a good week, girlfriend. You've gotten to do some amazing things, which is so fun. From Memphis, Angela said, I just landed my first social media management client. Now that I know where I want to pivot, and joy is through the roof. Come on. That is what I am talking about. What a win. What a way to talk about it. Y'all, this is good. All of y'all who have shared. Courtney, it is so good to see you. Oh my goodness. Finally back taking steps forward with my business. So that's a win. Y'all, sometimes the best thing for you to do is to slow down in order to speed up, because then you get Big Mo behind you. You get that momentum and it's like, oh, nothing's stopping you. Right? Angela said, win. March was my largest month ever cash in. Come on, girlfriend. Come on. Yes. Angela, the sun is out in Spain for the first time in 30 days. Holy cow. Come visit Florida. Actually, I want to come visit you in Spain. Lydia, massive week. Yes. Renee, have moms get a hold of me. Yes. Come on. You are helping them have freedom in their body and healing. Summer, so good to see you, gorgeous. Y'all, Summer's Bible reading group is the one that I was talking about that I don't hold people hostage in anymore. It's an amazing, amazing group. If y'all want to read the Bible in a year, that is the link. Summer, I would love it if you put the link to the Bible reading challenge, the Facebook group. My beautiful mother, Rebecca, my beautiful mom said so many blessings and opportunities. Yes, y'all, there are so many. I call like good things that happen like little good things cupcakes. That's a story for another time. I'll probably write a post about it, which actually goes into what we're going to be talking about. So a good job, Mary, didn't plan that one. But there are cupcakes everywhere you look for them, everywhere if you look for them. And they are so, so powerful. Jesse, so good to see you. Janelle said, scheduled a class and 10 people paid for tickets to come. Girlfriend, look at you charging. I don't know how much you charge, but like people are being shown that you deserve to be paid for your knowledge. That is another word for some people. You deserve to be paid for the knowledge that you have. All right? All right? Y'all keep putting the wins in the chat. I want to be able to hear. Is this firing anybody else up? Like, let me know. Are you getting fired up like hearing everybody else's wins? I want to be able to hear. Sandra said, win seeing you, girlfriend. I love you. By the way, Sandra's podcast episode is coming out next Wednesday. Not the 6th, the 13th. I think that's the next one. So in 2 weeks, by the way, your podcast episode is coming out. I was looking at that this morning. Angela said, started a new group this week and got a new client that started this week. Oh, we need some air horn for all of these. Come on, Janelle. Good. I'm glad you recognized that was a big step. That was amazing. Angela, do you like, Angela said, I just want you in my pocket. You fire me up. I am honored. Yeah, I'm honored. I love that. Girlfriend, the Monday podcast episodes, that's me giving you some hype, some motivation, also the daily texts. Okay. Michaela is also listening right now. Michaela, you are amazing. I love you lots. Can you please put the link to from Kajabi from my website on the podcast in these. My beautiful mother said presentation today, 3 years in the making. Come on. This is the season for acceleration. Let's go. Summer said gearing up for my first challenge this month. Come on, girlfriend. Come on. Let's go. Okay. All right. Y'all keep putting them in the chat. I am going to get started here though. Angela said, you're probably twice as tall as me, so maybe not. Y'all, sometimes I think it's funny. Like I meet people in real life who I've like only seen online and I'm like, you're shorter than I thought you would be. Oh, you're taller than I thought you would be. So for reference, if you wanted it, you probably didn't, but if you did, I'm 5'7", although I'm normally in heels. And so, I learned how to like put my shoulders back. Like I'm gonna walk in there with all authority and confidence. Let's go. Let's go. Come on. All right. Lydia, journal or girlfriend, text me about that. How did that meeting go? I never saw a response about it. Journal orders are skyrocketing. I love it. That is amazing. Okay, there's 26 of y'all on live right now. It's amazing because I saw yesterday that y'all were telling me that you wanted to learn how to plan out Q2 content. And I have a mindset and a mentality of like, there is literally no time like the present. Okay, because that's what I believe. I believe that there's no time like the present. So I wasn't going to wait around and be like, oh, maybe like next week I'm going to do this live training. I'm like, no, the people who want this information are going to show up. The people who don't, they're not going to. The replay will be posted in the group. Okay. But I believe in empowering you to make your own decisions. And I believe that you are extremely intelligent and that if you want to make a change, you will make a change. Anybody else, say me in the comments if you believe that if you want to make a change, if you are ready to make a change, you will make a change. And for some of you, you have not yet figured out a strategy that works well for you to be able to create content. And that is why you're listening. That is why you're showing up. Can you like just give yourself a round of applause for that? Like, that's amazing. I'm so excited that you made the decision to show up today. You made the decision to learn this information. You said, hey, here's a skill I want to get better in. I'm not just going to talk about it. I'm going to do something about it. So you said, okay, kids, we're either going to listen to this crazy purple haired lady who's talking to us right now, or y'all do your like homework, your homeschooling. I'm going to listen to this. We're all going to learn. Okay. You put your phone away. You're like, all right, this will be here in an hour when we're done. You've showed up like you want to, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Okay. If you believe that, put a 1 in the chat. All right. How you do one thing is how you do everything. And so I'm believing that because you are here live You are somebody who shows up. And even if you decided, hey, I had a prior engagement, Mary, you gave me like 24 hours of a notice. So I'm going to come back and you're watching the replay. Hey, what's going on, replay people? I see you. You're still showing up. You're still showing up for yourself. You're showing up leaned in, ready to take action, because I'm not just going to give you information. I'm going to show you how to do it. Because I don't know about anybody else, but I've gotten information before and I haven't known how to implement it. But I'm going to share stories with you and I'm going to relate it so that you know what your next steps are. And let me give you a little hint and a little strategy really quick. Actually, before I do that, because I want to be able to see what y'all put, if anybody did their homework and they brought 5 different things to share about, put it in the comments. I want to be able to see what it was. Okay, so if you did your homework, you said, okay, I saw that Mary talked to me about this. I saw Mary told me to be able to do my homework. All right, then put it in the chat of the 5 different things that you can talk about on social media. And if you didn't, that's okay. You'll still be able to figure out how to find those things. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down this process that I created of how to find what to talk about online, how to create content. And then actually we're going to go through what to do. Once you have the topics that you can talk about, I'm going to break down how you can talk about something for 5 days a week. Okay. And then I'm going to show you when to schedule the time, how to make it simple, how to make it easy. Okay. But is anybody a highlighter person? Like, is anybody a person where like you get information and you're like writing it down? Y'all, I have so many notebooks around me that you just can't see in this video. Like literally you're on a bookshelf right now. There's so many notebooks. I'm just like, I'm writing down all of the information. Anybody else, you like feverishly, ferociously, I don't know, but you write down all of the information that you hear. And then it's like, whoa, what do I implement first? Here's my encouragement. Here's my tip for you. Grab a highlighter or a different colored pen really quick. And when you hear me talk about something, you're like, oh, that's what I can implement. Highlight it. So then when your brain goes back to your notes, it can see, oh, this is what I need to do first. Okay, perfect. I can do this. All right. So notebook, notebook, notebook. All right. Oh, Summer said, how can I forgive the unforgivable? Oh, Alicia, we got so many in here. Parenting, cooking, organization, money management. Yes. Sandra said, natural weight loss, abuse overcomer, business influencer mindset. Girl, you have a lot to talk about. Trina, time management, cooking, mompreneur life, homeschooling, health. Renee, mindset, nutrition, oils, exercise, digestion. Janelle, cooking healthy meals that are, oh, I can't say that really fast. Cooking healthy meals, doing fun Bible times with young children, homeschooling for young children, natural health for moms. Okay, if y'all did your homework and brought 5 things to talk about, still put it in the chat. All right. Air horn, give yourself a round of applause for anybody who did their homework and you are showing up. Okay. It's amazing. I'm really excited. I hope you all have your highlighters as well. I'm gonna put mine down because I don't need mine right now. Okay. I'm gonna go back and look at all of the people who did their homework and who showed up. Right now, I'm gonna put the chat to the side so that I can just teach. Okay. But as things are coming up, as you are having questions, put them in the chat. Okay. Like I said, there's a couple of different things that happen when you put them in the chat. The first is I'll go back after I'm done and I'll answer it for you if it hasn't already been answered. The second thing is if you have a question and we already have a resource for it, or we have something that I know can help, what Michaela's going to do is she's on my MDM profile and she's going to give you the link, which is awesome. Love her. She's amazing. The third thing that could happen when you put what you need in the chat is that there's going to be somebody else who actually can help you with that. They already have the solution. They've done it. They know what can help with it. And because we're a community here, we're not just all islands. We are a community. We're a city. We help each other out. Also, it is a lie that tells people that they need to do it all on their own and they can't get help. And I'm not for that. I don't like it. So I encourage you to do the same because I also believe in a law of reaping and sowing, where whatever you put out will come back to you. It's a really cool law. Okay. It's a law of the universe. It happens. All right. I've given you a lot already. We're 17 minutes in and I've already given you a lot. Are you good? Just a little temperature check here. Are you good? Let me know. Or just making sure, say I'm good. Say like, I need to take a deep breath. If you need to take a deep breath, we're just going to take a collective breath. All right, let's go. Let's get started. Okay, so if we haven't met before, we haven't met on a call before. Hi, how are you? My name is Mary Diacetis. If you never knew how to say my last name, it's like, do you see this? Diacetis. I know, very interesting. And I learned about 5 years ago how to create a lot of content in a little bit of time. What I was doing 5 years ago is I was in college. So I was 19 years old. So you can do the math to figure out how old I am. I was 19 years old and I interviewed with a CEO of a company and he asked me to do his blogging and social media. The company had just started. I was like the second or third person who he hired. And on this interview call, I told him, I have no idea how to do this, but I'll learn. And he said, cool, you're hired. And I'm pretty sure I cussed. And I was like, oh no, what am I going to do now? So I started learning social media. And how I did that is I joined every webinar, I joined every free challenge, I looked it up on YouTube. I did everything that I could to learn how to market on social media for this company because I had no clue. I was a public relations and marketing major in college. And yes, it was communications, but I still wasn't quite sure on how you do this for a business. To top it all off, it was for veteran benefits. I knew nothing about veteran benefits. So I learned how to do it. Fast forward, that company grew very large to the multi-million-dollar level. They've gotten like the awards through ClickFunnels, if you know what the 2 Comma Club award is. And they did really well. And we helped a lot of people. And over the 4.5 years that I worked with them, by the time that I left, I was personally in charge of putting out 119 pieces of content a week. I don't remember what the math was. It was like 30 something pieces of content a day, 36. One of y'all who's better at math than me. I know it was 119 pieces of content a week though. And that wasn't even all the content that went out. We had more that went out on YouTube and emails and blogging. And at that time, I wasn't over any of those 3. And because we put out so much content, I had to learn how to be efficient with it. How many of you know that if you were putting out 119 pieces of content a week, that you would have to be efficient with it? Anybody else? Say me in the chat. All right. And I had some people who were working with me. So I just want to preface it with that. It was not all me. I had people who were working with me, but I was in charge of it. So I still had to train them on how to put out this much content. It was like, there are so many moving pieces. I know some of you moms have felt like that. Oh my gosh, there's so many moving pieces. It's like meals and home and like business and the dog and like sports and all of the other things, a lot of moving pieces. So how can you still have a life, but market your business on social media? That's what I'm going to teach you. Because at its core, social media marketing is getting people's attention and connecting them to what they want to see. I'm going to say that again because some of you have forgotten that. Social media marketing at its core is connecting a person to what it is that they want. That's all it is. Social media started as for colleges to create friendships. That's why good old Marky Z created this platform. It was to create friendships with people, to help them connect more than just in person. And now it's evolved and we get to use it for business, which is so cool, right? Anyone else think that's really cool? So you have the opportunity to share with somebody what they feel is valuable. But before you do that, you have to know what they think is valuable. Because who knows that if you've probably tried this before. I know I have. Just start throwing stuff out on social media. I'm like, maybe something's gonna stick. Something's gotta stick. And you know that it's not really working because you haven't identified what people want to see. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you, we're going to do the behind the scenes work. I'm going to show you how to figure out what people want to see online. And then I'm break it down and take that and show you how to create content through it. I have a process I call the 3 V's: value, viral, and vulnerable. So 3 different types of posts that you will do to build up rapport, to build up that confidence or that belief that somebody else has in you. I'm going to teach you about the 3 V's. I'm going to teach you how to put that into the specific topic or the specific thing that somebody needs. And then also how to create an offer post, because who loves creating offer posts? I'm going to let you in a little behind the scenes. You are here watching this today because of my offer posts. If you want to go and be a little detective, get your little detective glass, microscope, I don't know, whatever, magnifying glass. Thank you, brain. Out and see how to do an offer post. Look at the posts that I use to get you into this program. Okay, cool. So if you are ready, tell me in the chat, I am ready. So if you are helping people to solve their problems, they will come to you for the solution. One of my clients about 1.5 years, almost 2 years ago now, one of my clients said to me when I was like talking to him about like what it is that like growing my business, he said, the information is free, but the implementation comes with a fee. I'm gonna say that again. The information is free, but the implementation comes with a fee. And that's implementation in coaching. That's implementation in doing something done for you. I know there's a couple of you who have done for you programs. So this is you. There's a couple of you who are product-based businesses. The implementation is being able to use that oil, take that supplement and get it. The course where you break down exactly how to take the steps, that is the implementation for somebody. I saw Trina's, which is like top of my mind. I saw Trina's on live. Hey, Trina, how are you? Trina has a course over sourdough. It's your sourdough starter course. And before it was just in Kitchen Freedom System. And then I told everybody on my last 3-day challenge that she had this course. And now you can just buy the sourdough starter course. And I have used her sourdough starter course to create sourdough. It's been great. Because I know that I can Google all of the information and find it. I don't want to. My time is my most valuable resource. I'm very cautious of my time and how long it takes me to do things. So I would rather invest in a course than be able to just Google everything. I'm gonna let you in on a secret. Your ideal client feels the same way. When I say ideal client, I just mean the perfect person who would want to work with you. Okay, so there are 4 main ways where you can figure out what these things are. The reason why Trina has a sourdough course is because people have asked for the sourdough course. When I accidentally told people on my last 30-day challenge that she had a sourdough course, there were so many people who were like, I want this sourdough course. The same is true for you. We just got to figure out what their language is. This came to me yesterday, actually, and I shared it with my dreamers and action takers. I was like, oh my gosh, this makes so much sense. Because who has heard before that somebody has to hear about your product or service 7 times before they are ready to make a purchase? Has anybody else heard this? And I remember when I first started like coaching or launching my own business, I was in network marketing at the time. And I remember telling people about this product. And I remember posting about it. And I've posted about it so many times. I'd shared results. And I was like, why is nobody coming? I posted about it more than 7 times. But what people seem to leave out of that equation is it's not just 7 times. It's somebody has to hear about it 7 times in their language. You have to present it to them as the need that they're saying that they have. So if you don't know what it is that they're saying, if you don't have their language, then you are not going to be able to show them that you have the solution to their need. Did this help anybody? Like help free some people? We're going to figure out what that is today. Okay. So there's 4 different ways to figure out what to post. Because the first problem is, what the heck do I post? The second way is creating a formula in order to put that out on the social media, internet marketing world. All right. 4 different ways. I'm going to give you the 4 different ways in case you missed them when I talk about it. And then I'm going to go through and explain each and every one of them. Okay. 4 different ways. Number 1 is ask your people on your page and stories. Just ask them. Ask them if they need help with X. X is your problem that you solve, by the way. Number 2, do research from your personal group or other people's groups. The group that you are in right now is the Engagement Accelerator group. This is the group. This is my free group. So I ask you questions, figure out what you need. Hello, this live training. So do research from your group and other people's groups. Way number 3, trace. Yeah, trace. Use somebody's language from sales calls. This is my favorite one. Okay, use the language from sales calls. And numero 4, cuatro. I'm learning Spanish, can you tell? Use programs called Answer the Public or SEMrush. Those are websites. So it's answerthepublic.com. I believe it's like, well, letters, SEMrush. It's a website. All right. Who is ready to jump into number 1? Can you tell me if you're ready in the chat? I want to be able to see and I want to be able to hear. Who is ready to rumble? Is that like a hockey game, Spurs game? I don't know, something. But if you're ready to rumble, let me know. So we're going to start with your Facebook post or stories. Now, the goal here is to ask your audience that you already have. These are people who are already following you. They already trust you on some level. Otherwise, they wouldn't be following you online. So you want to get ideas and topics and comments from your followers on your Facebook posts. Okay. And the reason why you want to do this is because if you are posting for them, if you're posting to be able to help them to succeed, then you want to be able to give them the right information that they are actually asking for. So why not just ask them? Okay, this is what I was talking about of how offer posts, you literally responded to an offer post, and that is why we have this training. I asked in the Engagement Accelerator group if I did a training or who wants to learn how to plan out their content. It was something along the lines of who wants to learn how to plan out their content, follow-up question, if I did a training on it, would you be interested? And when I looked yesterday, there were 17 people. And for me, that was enough for me to know that there was a need for this. And the reason why I knew that it was a need for it was because I knew that there would be more than 17 people on the live, and I knew that I'd talk about it. And I was like, okay, if I have 17 people, and that was a good number for me to know, because I already had the idea that this would be something that was helpful. I just wanted further confirmation. So a couple ways that you can do that. Ask people, can I get your honest opinion? What is your struggle with X? This can be weight loss. What is your struggle with bloating? What is your struggle with cooking for a large family? What is your struggle with meal prep? What is your struggle with organization, health loss, weight loss? Basically just to like habits, basically just to like kind of get a baseline from people of like, what is it? What is your struggle? What's going on? Okay. Another way that you can ask this to get people's feedback is if I were to teach you one thing about insert your niche, what would you want to learn? Giving people that opportunity to tell you the one thing that they would want to learn about social media, about podcasting, building a business, natural living, whatever it is. You know what it is. You know what the problem is that you help solve. Ask people and they're going to tell you. Another way that you can ask this is if you could pick my brain over one thing, what would it be? Okay. There's a lot of different ways for you to do this. There's a lot of different ways for you to ask these questions. It's just taking the time to actually ask them. You can do this on your stories. You can do this on your profile. There's a lot of different places you can ask this. And this is really good for the person who's like, I don't know if this is still in line with what my perfect person wants to see. Like, I don't know if they're liking what I'm seeing. One of my clients about 3 weeks ago said this to me. She was like, I don't know if I'm in line with what my clients want to see, what I'm posting. Like my engagement's lower. I just don't know. I was like, cool. Why don't you ask them? She's like, I can do that. I said, yes, absolutely. Ask them if they want to hear about mindset. Ask them if they want to hear about your kids and your family and your baby that's on the way. Ask them if they want to hear about like coaching and I already said mindset and life and all of the above, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. Ask them what they want to see. So she did it on her stories. She used that cool little poll option, POLL, poll. And thank you, Instagram, for allowing us to have more than just 2 options on the poll. So now you can ask them and give them different options. Let people choose and then take their information. And what I want you to do, this is something that you'll highlight as a next thing to do, create a Google Doc of things that I can talk about on social media. And every time as you go through all 4 of these different ways, put it on the Google Doc. You know, that's what I did when I was working with this company. I had a master Google Doc, and every quarter I would plan out each week of content, and then I would break it down using the formula that I'm showing you. But this is how I got the information. So I went through Facebook posts, I went through Facebook groups, I talked to our sales team, and I got information from them on what the questions were that we were being asked from our like cold audience. And then I used Answer the Public and SEMrush. I had this master doc, and then I would pick there's about, so like 12 to 15-ish weeks in a quarter. So I planned it out based on that. Okay. So the first one is ask on your personal profile. Who's going to commit to number 1? Are you going to commit to asking people on your personal profile? I want you to put in the chat the question, put the number 1, and then put the question that you are asking on your personal profile or on your feed. Okay. Number 2. You all ready for number 2? Number 2 is do research in Facebook groups. So this can be your own Facebook group if you have a Facebook group, or this can be other people's Facebook groups. And what's really cool about other people's Facebook groups is you get in front of new faces. Some of y'all, you're listening to this right now, and we have never actually met in person, but we met through a Facebook group because I've done this. I've also provided value in Facebook groups, which is really cool. Sometimes people will ask me, they're like, how did we meet? And I'm like, I think a Facebook group. I don't know, but I'm glad you're here now. And I'm glad we're online besties. Okay. So ask questions in Facebook group or go and see the questions that people have already asked. So in Facebook groups, they have this really cool option. You can actually see on the left-hand side of Facebook groups, there's a little search bar. So you can search in a topic. There's some of you who are listening who I know help people with the keto diet. So what if you looked up the word keto? What if you looked up the word weight loss? What if you looked up the word like health? There's some of you in here who help with mindset. Maybe you want to talk to somebody who's like frustrated that they're not getting further ahead. You want to look up the word frustration. Maybe you want to help somebody with anxiety. Type in the word anxiety. So yes, you can ask your own questions, which there is value in doing that. I've done that before because I'm like, nobody's asked this question. Like I need help with it. Just trying to get market research. But then also there's already groups that have a ton of people in them. Dean Graziosi and Tony Robbins have done multiple challenges over the year. And I don't know what the current name of the group is. When I looked it up, it was like Own Your Future, but there's literally hundreds of thousands of people in this group. Yeah, I don't even know what the current name of the group is. They've changed it multiple times. But I would just type in their name. I'll probably type in Dean Graziosi if you want this exact group. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because there's so many people in this group that you can get really good market research from people. And you can be able to see what it is that they're looking for. Okay, so step number 2 is going into a Facebook group. Put in the chat the phrase that you are going to look for in this Facebook group. And then when you find it, I forgot about this part. When these things come up, go in the comments, see what other people responded with, and you're going to copy and paste it onto your Google Doc of like things that I can talk about on social media. I can't remember if I said it at the beginning. Actually, I did. Remember how I talked about like, I like things to be simple? Do not let your brain overcomplicate this. If your brain starts asking a bunch of questions like, oh, what about this? What about this? What about this? We're just gonna have a pattern interruption right then. Stop overthinking it. Just stop it. Who's seen that video? That video is hilarious. Just stop it. Stop overthinking it. This is supposed to be simple. It's supposed to be simple. Okay. So step number 3, I hope that you put step number 2, what you're going to ask in the Facebook group, in the chat, because we're moving on to step number 3. Step number 3 is my favorite. It's using your language from sales calls or market research calls. Janae recently did this. She got on a bunch of sales calls with people and she was like, holy cow, Mary, they told me what they needed help with and they gave me their exact language. Can I use this for posts? It's like, yes, you absolutely can use this for posts. That is a perfect way to be able to figure out what it is that your people need and want. Oh my gosh. Like, yes. So as you've gotten on calls with people, maybe right now you're doing market research calls, okay? Maybe you want to figure out what it is that people need because you're drawing a blank. You're like, Mary, I hear you. You're telling me to not make it complicated, but I don't know where to start. Cool. Get on market research calls with people. Ask people, hey, do you have 15 minutes so I can ask you some questions? And then ask them questions and figure out what they're struggling with. And then either like transcribe the call or like just write it down really fast. This is a great way to figure out what it is that people need. And if you know, this is the perfect person who I want to work with, it would be my dream to be able to work with this person. Ask them. Hey, Liz, I would love to be able to work with you. Do you have 15 minutes for me to ask you a couple questions? I love what it is that you do. Maybe instead of I would love to work with you, you change that to, hey, I see you do this, this, and this, and you have the characteristics of my ideal client. Is there any way you would have 15 minutes so I can ask you a couple questions? And ask them a couple questions. Be honoring of their time. But figure out what it is that they're struggling with. Then you can talk about that online. Y'all, I want to know, do you have somebody in mind right now that you can either talk to, or do you have sales calls that have been recorded? This is huge. This is huge for being able to talk to people. Figure out what exactly they need and help them to be able to succeed. Because if you can help somebody on social media, oh my gosh, they're going to be so much more likely to want to work with you. Because you already helped them get a result. You could already showing them that you helped them get a result. Why would they not want to work with you if you've already helped them to be able to succeed? Okay, so my last one, I asked the option of this, is using the program. So option number 4 is using either the program Answer the Public or SEMrush. Now, Answer the Public is really just seeing in your country what somebody is searching for a specific topic. So for example, I've used this for social media. We use this for marketing. Use this for my client that worked with veterans. I would type in the word veteran benefits. And it's like who, what, where, when, how, why, I don't know, like all different questions. And it shows you the most Googled questions about your topic, which is super cool. So use Answer the Public. For the free version, you get 1 free search a day. So you can go and use that. And then the other one is called SEMrush. So I used SEMrush when I was writing blogs for this company because our goal was to be able, if you searched any topic, we wanted our blog to show up. We did. And so I would use SEMrush and I would Google or I would search the most asked topics and then I'd write blog posts about them. Y'all, when I left that company, or when I stopped writing blogs actually, either me or my team had written over 400 blogs. I did blogging for 2.5, maybe 3 years. We wrote over 400 blogs. It's a lot of blogs. So I wanted to know what the most frequently asked questions were. And then I would create a blog about it. And then I would create social media posts from it. If you want to learn how to do that of reusing content, that's something I teach in DNA. But it's a really cool way to be able to reuse your content and do more with less. Because I like my free time. I like being able to go to bed and have that peace. Okay. So if anybody is going to use either SEMrush or Answer the Public, again, knowing that SEMrush is for blogging, let me know in the chat what the question is that you are going to ask on any of these programs. And then remember, what you're doing is you're putting it in your Google Doc so that you can go back and you can pick these topics. Okay, so I'm gonna check in the chat. Check in the chat. That's kind of like a fun thing to say. How's it going for y'all? What has been something that you have realized that you can do in order to figure out your topic for social media? Let me know in the chat. What's been your like aha moment, exciting? I want to be able to think about it. Lydia says, I love that reverse engineering. Yes, girl. Yes. Working smarter, not harder. Now we know what they want to talk about. Now we can talk about it. I'll let y'all know about something. The reason, so this group is called Engagement Accelerator because I did a challenge in August of the Engagement Accelerator Challenge. And it hit me of the reason why I did that challenge was because everybody thinks their problem is that they're not getting enough engagement. That's really not the problem at all. So I had moved on to teaching higher level things on my profile, and I wasn't getting as good of a response as I thought that I should. Yet when I really started asking people the questions, hello, they're like, I need to learn how to increase my engagement. So even though I knew that their problem wasn't increasing engagement, wasn't low engagement, they weren't talking about what their people wanted. That's why they had low engagement. What people thought their problem was low engagement. So I gave people what they wanted. I said, hey, this is how to increase your engagement. And it worked. So talk to people with where they're at, not where you want them to be. I'm going to say that again. Talk to people with where they are at, not where you want them to be. Or change your ideal client. Change your perfect person you want to work with. But the people that I knew were currently on my profile, the people who were asking me for help, wanted to learn how to increase their engagement. So that's what I gave them. And it was awesome. Okay, Courtney said, aha moment to ask ideal clients for 15 minutes for a call. Yes. Kathy said, simply just ask. Christopher said, just hit me back on my corporate job. We used to do market research all the time. Why the heck am I not doing this with my life coaching business? Now it's time to do it. Yeah, you can just ask. In DNA, I have some scripts as well if you are looking for the scripts to ask. And the way that I teach scripts is not the way that most people teach scripts. I teach scripts as a framework, not as the Bible. Okay? So these are so good. I'm seeing so many different things that you can talk about. Do you struggle with lowering your stress, weight loss? So father to manage balance between work and family, overwhelm, stress, what's for dinner? Yes, stress, stability, overwhelm. Reach out to fathers and husbands to pick their brain. Yes. Danielle, you're amazing. Danny, what did you write? A scripts book in a week? How long was it? 2 weeks? Danny just wrote a script book, actually. It's for moms who are struggling with how to talk to their kids. So struggling over like how to have tough conversations with their kids when they keep asking like, why? What am I doing here? I meant the kids, but I don't know. Maybe some of you moms have been asking that of like, what am I doing here? So how to manage that, what to do, all of the above. Danny has some amazing scripts for moms on this. Okay. Lydia said, I love to talk to people and record their language. Also, she said, what? I know, right? She has a really cool script book. Are y'all ready to move on to the 4 different types of posts that I'm going to go over? Y'all, I only allotted an hour for this. Are y'all good to go over? Are y'all okay? Let me know. If I go a little bit over, would you be okay with that? I only want I only want to know though, like if you're finding this valuable. If you're not finding this valuable, you're like, I got other things to do, let me know. And we can just like stop here. But if you're finding this valuable and you want me to go over 4 different types of posts, then I will. Angela said, let's go. Yes, ma'am. I love it. So you see the thing with this is I want to connect the dots really quick for you. Because if you just see both of these separately, you're going to be like, what the heck? How do they go together? I don't understand, Mary. You're crazy. I know I'm crazy. That's why I'm here. Sorry. How you connect them. Once you know what you're talking about, then you have topics to talk about online. And what I did with this, what I do is every week I have a theme or a topic that I'm going to talk about online. So for example, meal prepping. So 1 week could be like how to meal prep for a family of 7. Next week could be how to figure out what you're eating for dinner. Next week could be, I'm going to use y'all's exact. Overwhelm. How to remove the overwhelm. And then each day you're going to talk about a different aspect of it. Because do you remember how I said that, yes, somebody needs to hear about it 7 times, but it needs to be in their language. This is where it comes in, because somebody is going to be able to see that you can help them with overwhelm or anxiety or weight loss or stress by you giving them a tip. Somebody's be like, oh my gosh, Courtney can help me lower my stress. This is what I've been like journaling about and asking for. Then somebody else is going to see your story about stress and they're going to be like, that was me. That's literally me. Somebody else is going to see your viral post where you're asking a question and getting their opinion. And they're going to be like, maybe this girl knows some things. Maybe this guy has some tips for me. Finally, somebody else is going to be like, they have already given away so much that has helped me. Now you make an offer post and they're like, sold, I'm in. What do I need to do? Who do I need to pay? Because you've built it up. Because we don't buy things when somebody first asks us. We buy things because we have trust for them. All right. So that is how, is that making sense? I'm going to make sure that like that's connecting. You have your topic that you can talk about all week, and then you have the different ways to talk about it. And what I'm going into now is the different ways to talk about it. It's value, viral, vulnerable, and offer. Value, viral, vulnerable, and offer. And the reason why I have these 4 different types of posts, there's actually a 5th one called fun, but I'm not going to go over that one right now. You can learn about that one in Social Media by Design or Dreamers and Action Takers. But these 4 different types of posts are actually the most important. The reason why is because they build up somebody's belief in what you can do for them. And sometimes people will ask me, they're like, Mary, like, if I'm giving away value, like, isn't that me giving away too much before somebody's in my program? And sometimes I get a little snarky. I apologize. But my question is normally, well, how's it working now for you? If you're not giving away any value, how's it working? If it's working, keep doing that. Don't use this formula. If it's not working, then let's consider giving away some value. Might as well try it, right? And so the way that I created these 4 different types of posts is they're used to empower you, not to hinder you. I'm going to say that again. They're used to empower you and not to hinder you. They're empowering you so that your brain doesn't have to be sitting there being like, oh my gosh, I know I need to talk to people about stress today, but like, honestly, I'm stressed. I know I got to talk to them about like parenting, but like my brain's going crazy and I don't feel like I'm a good parent. Oh my gosh, like I know meal prep's important, but like I literally just want to order DoorDash and get food delivered here. So your brain has a million different things that's already going on in your head. This formula is to be like, okay, I know I'm going to talk about meal prep today. Doesn't matter anything else. Meal prep. Let me pick one of the 4 posts that I'm going to talk about. Value. Perfect. I'm going to talk about value. Okay, what is one tip I can give about meal prepping? Okay, plan out what you're going to get at the grocery store before you go to the grocery store. That's my post. Let's run with it. Ready and go. Game time. It's supposed to be that simple. Sometimes I'll get message from people and they like way overthink it. And I'm like, friend, you are exhausting me. Don't overcomplicate it. If you need a pattern interruption, stop it. Don't overthink it. I'm serious. This is so simple. Okay? Okay? All right. Cool. I think that this is connecting for y'all. If it's not, let me know. The first thing that we are going to talk about is value. Y'all go ahead and write down value. And why is value important? Because like I said, somebody needs to know that you can help them to succeed before they purchase anything from you. Now, why do we decide to invest in anything? Like, why do we make a change? I want to hear in the chat. Why does anybody decide to make a change? Okay. My belief in why somebody invests and wants to make a change is they want a transformation. They want something different. You make a change because you want a transformation. You invest because you want a transformation. Y'all, it's even as simple as why you buy a couch. I'm gonna go there. There are lots of things that I could buy instead of a couch. I have a couch right here that I'm like looking at. I could buy one of those like folding chairs that you go to like football games in. I could buy a stool. I could buy a chair. I buy a couch because I want to feel comfortable as I'm laying on it and watching TV. We buy because we want something. Okay, Courtney said, tired of the way that things are going, desperate for change. We want to feel a certain way. Yeah, we buy because we feel like it. So you want somebody to feel good, right? Like you want somebody to feel good before they invest with you. So let's give them the opportunity to, right? Right? Okay. Gary Vee wrote a book called Jab, Jab, Right Hook. I'm going to tell you the basis of the book. Basis of the book is also, I like loved it. See it in one. Anyways, the basis of the book is you give, and then you make the ask. You make the offer. What that looks like is giving away value, helping somebody change, helping to make tiny little micro changes and micro belief changes. There's a couple of you who are coaches who are listening to this right now. I saw Christopher, like I saw Alicia, I saw Danny, I saw Trina, like there's a lot of you who are coaches. Y'all know, and y'all have probably been told on sales calls that it's all like belief shifting into where they want to go. You get to do that with social media content. Literally, that's like what social media content is supposed to do, is slowly shift beliefs until somebody's like, I'm hungry, I want help. So that's really what your value-based content does. So you're helping to shift beliefs. So when you make the offer, somebody's like, yes, I'm desperate for change. I want something new. Please help me. That company that I was talking about where I was working with veterans, this is what they did. That is why I personally oversaw 400 blogs. We had thousands of posts on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. Hundreds of videos on YouTube because we gave away value. And there were people who actually came to us and they said, hey, I used your free information and I figured it out on my own. And like, this was amazing. Like, thank you so much. And they never paid us a dime. And we said, woo, congrats. Yay. I'm so excited for you. However, there were other people who said, I got a little mini transformation. I did one thing that you told me to. Can you please help me do the rest? And we said, yes, absolutely. Yay. Congratulations. You're willing to make a change. There are other people who are so fed up with the process. They saw our names and they got on the phone with us. They wanted to invest. Even though we gave away a lot of value, a ton of value. That's what we were able to do. Their packages went up to $10,000. So I was closing $10,000 packages over DMs because we gave away value. We showed people we could help them get what they want. When you show people that you can help them get what they want, it's like, here's my credit card. Where do I need to sign? Because again, if the desperation is there, they're hungry to make a change. Absolutely. Okay. So here's an example of this. I told you all I'm starting to box. Did my 3rd boxing lesson yesterday. I'm not very good at it yet. Also, Nikki asked me yesterday if I was boxing while I was on roller skates. Girlfriend, no, that is terrifying. Right now, I can't do either one of them well. So no, they're not. My grandma would be appalled if she saw that. Oh my gosh. Mom, can't you just envision either Nani or Mimi being like, ah! Anyways, what my boxing gym does is they show us how we can practice at home. They show us these movements, show us like, I don't even remember, like jab, cross, yeah, whatever. Obviously you can tell, like I'm still working on it. They show us these movements on a video on Instagram. So I can be like, okay, yeah, I'm like watching it, scrolling through. Okay, yeah, boom, practicing at home. You know what their call to action is? If you want personalized help from one of our coaches, see the link in our bio for the class schedule. Genius. Because I know that I'm not doing it well. I know that this is not fully, like I'm not punching well. Like this is weak sauce. I'm gonna be able to punch somebody though. My roommate really wants us to be able to fight. She's way stronger than me. I don't feel like that's a good idea. She's a CrossFitter. Anyways, genius. They give value. Then when I see it, if I wasn't going to boxing for a while, if I hadn't signed up for boxing, and I'd be like, oh yeah, I want to go see, I want to go check it out. Right? Sometimes I think we forget all of the information we could ever want is on the internet. I'm gonna like reveal the curtain here. Nothing I'm teaching is new information. Did I just like blow it? Did I blow all of the trust? I hope not. Because our most valuable asset is time. You do not have the time or the desire to go on Google and YouTube and search everything. Nobody does. I did because I was 19 years old and in college and desperate and I wanted a paycheck. You don't though. You have kids and business and all of the above. Your ideal client, your perfect person who you want to talk to, they don't got time either. So go into it with that mentality. Somebody wants what you have. They don't want to figure out all of the best remedies for their migraine or healing their gut or how to make sourdough. They want one thing. We want to be told exactly what to do, and we want the next step. So in the name of saving time and being told what to do, pick one of the topics that you can talk about and write what you put in the chat, what you can talk about as a value-based post. Give somebody a tip. Like I shared with the boxing gym, they told me how to throw a punch, one punch. They didn't say, okay, this is like jab, right hook, uppercut, kick. No, uno, one at a time. All right. So put it in the chat. I want to be able to see it. I also, at the end, I'm gonna give you all an opportunity to do something really cool. Okay. So if you have to leave, I love you lots. Enjoy your appointments and everything else, but come back and watch it. Highly recommend. Viral post. The goal of a viral post, this is post number 2, is to get people to talk. Do y'all know what people's favorite thing to talk about is? Anyone want to put it in the chat? Anybody want to guess what somebody's favorite thing to talk about is? I love this. This changed so much for me. People's favorite thing to talk about is themselves. We love to talk about ourselves. We all want our opinions heard and validated. So let's work with human nature, not against it. Let people talk about themselves on your profile. Let people share what it is they need, what they like. I'm gonna be honest. I've been teaching about viral posts for about 1.5 years now. Seen a lot of people do it wrong. Actually, it's been 2 years. Social Media by Design came out 2 years ago, which, by the way, Social Media by Design is getting updated right now. There's a revamp that's coming in it, which also means that for new people, the price is going to go up, but their information is outdated every 18 months. And so it was about 2 years ago. So we're updating Social Media by Design a lot. And so we have it to be able to update it. So anyways, that's neither here nor there, but just so you know, information is outdated about every 18 months. So by the time you graduate college, the information is outdated. Thank you, Google, to be able to like find new things. Why was I talking about that? I don't know. People love to talk though. We all want to talk about ourselves. We all want to be able to talk about what's going on. So give people the opportunity to do it. Allow them to talk about themselves on your post. Stop making it about you. Your new mission, if you choose to accept, is to give people the chance to talk about themselves. Allow them to share. So viral posts do exactly that. The goal of a viral post is to increase your engagement. It's great. I love viral posts. You can ask questions or you can point people to an offer. So ask about a topic that people are interested in. The one that's coming to mind for me right now is Summer asked a question on her profile saying like, have you ever seen a miracle happen? Or have you ever had a miracle? Something like that. I don't remember the exact phrasing that you used, but it was something along the lines of that. And people were like, yes, 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 yes. It was super cool. Because that is with her perfect person, because I know what her business is, I know what she does. And I know that she has different offers. And so the person who she's working with, I'm going to assume, because I don't actually know for sure, either wants more miracles in their life, they want to see how to do it. Summer's like, let's chat. I can help you with that. I can show how it's available to you. I'm going to guess. I could be wrong. That's fine. But she used a viral post, let people talk about themselves. And she went in and asked people, said, tell me more about that. Girl, I want to hear your story. Did you notice that? Some of you didn't catch that part. She went in and responded to the comments. I'm not going to expose this friend, but I have a friend who's also a coach who asked me yesterday to look at one of her posts and to see if, see how it was going. We've worked together really, really closely. I don't do this for people unless they're in our DNA or Social Media by Design. Okay, just as a forewarning, I don't do this for everybody. But we had just been talking about it and I told her to make a specific post. So she was like, hey, can you let me know how it goes? I went on her profile. In the past 5 posts, she was like 10 comments, 40 comments, 50 comments. She had not responded to a single one of them. So I sent her a voice memo and I said, girlfriend, I'm about to yell at you. If you are not in a position for me to yell at you, don't listen to this right now. I said, what are you doing not responding to people? Y'all, that fires me up. It is Friday, so it is going to be a feisty Friday. It fires me up. Respond to people. If you tell me you are frustrated that you are not getting clients yet you are not responding to people, that's on you. That's your first job. Viral post is the perfect way to respond to people and to get their opinions and to let them know that you love them and you care for them, because somebody is not going to pull out their credit card unless they feel like you love them and care for them. It's a basic human need. I feel like I'm going down a path that I need to like reel myself back in. I hope that wasn't too much. Actually, if it was, then it was. Know that I love you. I want you to be able to succeed, but you gotta respond to people. The reason why viral posts are so important is because of something that Russell Brunson actually talks about. What a guy. He wrote these traffic secret books. By the way, I've seen his house, which is kind of creepy. I wasn't a stalker. One of my friends just lived by him. Amazing house, freaking incredible. Russell Brunson talks about allying their fears, which means coming alongside somebody else and being like, you're right. I hear you. It's okay. I've been there too. You get to do this with viral posts. Because I'm going to ask you a question, and I hope you'll put the answer in the chat. Do you enjoy being told you're wrong? Put in the chat, yes or no. Do you enjoy being told you're wrong? I don't know about you, but I don't. A little thing like fires up inside of me, and I'm like, Mary, you need to simmer down, sister. I don't enjoy being told I'm wrong. Nobody does. Nobody does. So don't tell people they're wrong. When they comment, say like, thank you so much for your opinion. What made you think of that? I posted a reel on Monday and it was about like let them cringe. Basically like share your story anyways. People are going to cringe if they feel like they need to. Like share your life online. And this guy commented and he said, if you really believed this, then you would post all of your life online. And I was like, who is this person? So I went to his profile and he did not follow me. And I actually started laughing because I was like, first of all, some people tell me I post too much of my life online. I share too much. So like, this is really funny that you're putting this on my profile. And second of all, I'm like, your profile is private. You follow like 12 people and you have 2 posts. So I commented and I said, thank you so much for sharing your opinion. Thank you so much. That's one way to think. I think I said, actually, that's one way to think about it. That's one way to do it. It was just funny to me. Like people are always going to have an opinion. You don't have to tell them they're wrong. That is not your job. I'm gonna say it again. Your job is not to tell somebody else they're wrong. Allow them to have their own human experience. Frees you from a lot. Okay. You can actually use viral posts to connect somebody to your offer. And when I say offer, I mean your next video, your next live training, a freebie that you have, whatever it is. So take out the biggest benefit, the biggest transformation, and ask somebody if they'd be interested in learning more. Create a viral post about it. When I say viral post, I mean like 1 sentence, 2 max. Doesn't need to be a dissertation. Doesn't need to be a huge excerpt from a book. 1 or 2 sentences. Okay. Is this helpful for anybody? Is this connecting to what a viral post is? I got 2 more. All right. Next one is a vulnerable post. Now, don't freak out when I say vulnerable posts. Vulnerable posts can look like a lot of different things. It doesn't have to be that like butt pucker post where you're like, I don't want to post this. This is scary. It doesn't have to be that. Sometimes it is because it allows you to connect with people and to share. And it shows like who you are, the real raw behind the scenes, all of that. But stories are of extremely high value to people. I'm going to show you. A lot of you could tell me my story about how I got told no 1,600 times. Because you remember it, because I told you a story. Our brains work in stories. It's how we think about things. A lot of you could also tell me my story about that veteran company that I worked with when I was 19 years old. And I like figured out how to market because I tell those 2 stories frequently. Every training I do, every live video, not every live video, every like live video like this, where I'm doing a training, because I'm building my authority. I'm showing you, I'm not just some chick off the street who's sharing you some with you. Where's this Texas accent coming through? There's some girl on the street who's sharing some things about the social media. But I'm building my own authority and teaching you how to talk about vulnerable posts. So start sharing your story. You can share your personal and your business story. I would bet each of you have learned from a speaker or basically a speaker. Put in the chat a speaker's name who you could tell their story of where they came from. Because I know that this is true. You've heard somebody's story, been able to relate to it. You're like, oh, that's good. And now you're sharing about it. And you could tell their story. It's not even your story, but you are out there sharing their name because you know their story so well. I'm just gonna make sure that y'all are doing it really quick. I'm gonna look. I wanna look. Y'all are blowing up this chat, which is amazing. Okay. Danny Johnson. Yep. Absolutely. Danny Johnson, Miles Monroe. Yes. Lydia, I see you. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with those two because I'm not seeing anyone else's yet. But Les Brown, perfect. If there's anybody else, I want you to put it in the chat. Hannah Keeley, yep. You know their stories. You can share their stories even though you are not like listening to it. He doesn't have to be next to you in order for you to share their stories. Myron Golden, Michelle Schaefer, yeah. So you can share these other people's stories. So why would the same thing not be true for you? Why would you not be able to tell, why would somebody else not be able to tell your story? Mary Star Carter, I love that woman. She's amazing. Why would somebody not be able to do the same for you? The only reason is because you don't tell your story enough. Because your brain says, I'm not worthy of that. People don't want to hear my story. We're going to have another pattern interruption. Because that's a lie. Start telling your story. Start telling stories about things that you've heard, things that you were journaling about, different things and what they look like. You can share your story. Sometimes my posts are literally about things that I've journaled about. Now, nobody's going to get access to my whole journal. Well, that's just not happening. But I encourage you to use the things that are coming up for you and use it as a story. And let me just preface it. Sometimes it is not right now that you get to tell your story. There are stories that you get to tell after the scar is healed. And there are some that you get to tell while it's still a wound. My gauge is, am I using Facebook as a ghetto counselor? The answer is yes. I don't share that story. The answer is no, then I feel like I can share it. Okay? Is this helpful for anybody? I love that Lydia said touche. That made me laugh. Share your story. Talk about it. You can use your story to connect with people. You can actually use your story as an offer post, which is what we're going to be going into next. Yeah. Renee said, when I talk to people on the phone, I tell them a lot of my stories. Cool. Pick one and share it online. Also, you're going to get better at it the more that you do it. Y'all, I don't claim it anymore. I was dyslexic. I was horrible at school. I would cry every time I had to write a paper. Y'all, the letters would jump all over the page. I have written things and I stopped halfway through the sentence and I didn't even realize it. Sometimes I read out loud and I still don't know what the word says, so I make it up. If a dyslexic girl who could barely sit still long enough to be able to write anything out, can you learn how to work with her brain to be able to be a full-time content creator, then I believe that you can too. You can share your story and you're going to get better at it the more you do it. But you have to start. Okay? Last type of post we're going to talk about. All right? Y'all ready? You have the word offer written down on your paper. I'm believing you're still writing notes. Now, you already told me this. What is the reason somebody buys? You said desperation, transformation. Your offer posts are what give people the opportunity to say, hey, you can help them get that transformation. You can help them make a change. But unless you make the offer, nobody's going to know. There are people who have gone to their profile and they've been like, Mary, nobody's buying from me. I'm like, cool, like, let's check this out. And I'll go to their profile and I'm like, you've never made the invitation for somebody to work with you. Like, what are you talking about? I was like, show me your post where you've told people that this is the problem that you help them solve and your doors are open. And they're like, I never made it. And I'm like, you did not. You never made the post. You never made the offer. If you want people to buy from you, then you got to tell them your doors are open. You got to do it in the right language. So that's what this offer is about. As humans, we love to buy, but we hate to be sold to. Because we don't want to feel like we need to. We want to see that, hey, this is an option. If you want this, here's the option. You can take the step if you want to. When you go at it from that energy, that's a really freeing place to be. So next time you make an offer post, I want you to have this specific business in mind. This specific business is delicious. They're amazing. I love this business. I'm very grateful that I can actually eat from this fast food restaurant now because I recently got healed of gluten and I had celiacs for 7 years. That's a whole nother story. I'll tell that one eventually publicly. Pretty sure on my stories, but I'll write a post about it. This business has the most delicious chicken nuggets. Oh my gosh. They're breaded to perfection. They have amazing waffle fries. They used to do like extra crispy waffle fries. Sometimes they'll still do them for me. Does anybody know what restaurant I'm talking about? What fast food restaurant? All right. Their whole motto is eat more chicken. And they have really cute cows as their mascots. If you don't know what fast food restaurant I'm talking about, you probably don't live in America. I think they're American based. I don't know. Chick-fil-A. The way that Chick-fil-A treats their customers is they show up with boldness and with excitement and with joy. They say, my pleasure. Their goal is your transformation. They want to take your rumbling belly and give you food. Chef's kiss. We love it. When you go into an offer post with the idea that your goal is their transformation, makes offer posts 10 times easier. I'm serious. Because you can go into it knowing like, my goal is to help you to succeed, boo. If you want it, here's your next step. If you don't want it, there's somebody else who does. It's a really good place to go into like an offer with. So make the offer. If you are somebody who benefits from knowing a formula, I have a formula for that. It's really good. I call it the 5 steps to the perfect post. Right now, it's only in DNA and social media by design. So if you've heard me talk about these 2 things and you're like, Mary, I want that. I want to figure out how to do it. Awesome. Here's going to be your next step. My goal is I want to look for people who are action takers. Because I believe that a lot of people feel that they can make a change, feel the next step, but not a lot of people actually do. And I'm believing that there are at least 5 of you on here who are action takers. I hope it's more. I hope it's closer to 80 to 90% of people who are on here. But I want to know who the action takers are. So if you are an action taker, I want you to do 2 things. Actually, I'm going to have you do 3 things. First, I'm going to have you write down, I am an action taker. That's your first thing. Write it down right now. On your actual pen and paper. You can put it in the chat if you want. Or write it down on your pen and paper. Second thing I want you to do is I want you to post one of these 4 different types of posts in the Engagement Accelerator group. So go ahead and write it. Write an offer post. Write a viral post. Write a value-based post. Whatever it is, write it and put it in the group. If you do this, I will edit it for you and I will give you feedback. Because again, I'm looking for action takers. I want people who are willing and ready to take that next step. So write the post, put it in the group. Third thing I want you to do, if you're like, Mary, I already went through 1 quarter of this year and I'm not willing to wait till November or December to truly make a change. I need to get more clients on social media. I need to master the skill. I'm tired of doing it on my own. I want you to send me a message. This isn't normally the way that I do it. I normally give you the link. I'm not going to this time though, because I'm looking for the people who are serious about making a change. So I want you to DM me on Facebook. And I want you to tell me what change you want to make. And I'm going to do one of two things. Either I'm going to say, cool, this is your next step. I'm going to ask you a couple questions. I'm going to say, this is your next step. Or I'm going to say, cool, go talk to this person. Because I don't believe that like I am the only coach that's there to help people. And some of you, you probably need help with things like meal prepping and family and mindset and all of the above before social media help will actually help. And I tend to have a really cool network of people that I get to refer to. So if I'm not the right fit for you, I will refer you to somebody else. But I believe that there are some people who needed a little bit of extra push in order to take that next step. And I'm willing to bet on you. I'm willing to bet on myself and not doing things the typical way of sending out a link, of doing all of the above. And I want to make a note, if there is something that you need help with that's not social media related, but you are wanting to take that change, you are wanting to step out and do something different, send me a message anyways. I just told you I have a huge network of amazing people. If you're like, Mary, I know this isn't social media related, but I really need help with parenting or with scheduling or mindset or business or whatever, use me as a network. If you are serious about making that change, which y'all just told me, people invest because they're ready for the transformation. If you're ready for the transformation, then let's talk about it. Allow me to be a resource for you. Because I believe that your time is now. I believe that there's an acceleration coming, that there's abundance coming for those who are looking for it and who are ready for it, actually. If you want to be one of those people who's ready for it, let me know. So here are your 3 steps. Number 1 is writing down on your paper that I'm an action taker. Number 2 is putting in the group I'm only going to edit 1 for each person. 1 of these 4 posts. Over you figured out how to plan out your content, figured out how to create the posts. Oh, I guess I didn't tell you how to do this going forward. And then number 3 is if you're ready to make a change on something, send me a direct message. How to do this going forward. Once you figure out your like 5 to 7 topics, these are the things that you're going to talk about online. I have a full training on this in both DNA and social media by design. But every week, you're going to pick a different thing to talk about. You're going to plug in these 4 different topics. So if it's meal prep, then you're going to give a value-based topic on meal prep. Then you're going to do a viral post on meal prep. Then you're going to tell a story about meal prep, and then you're going to make an offer on meal prep. Next week, you're going to talk about stress. Okay, you're going to give a tip on how to reduce stress. You're going to ask people who feel stressed or how does stress show up in your body. You're going to tell a story about you having stress. Then you're going to give an offer of how you can take the next step. This is the formula that you're going to follow. You're going to plan it out. I have, where is it? Okay, so right here is my my 2022 planner. I'm gonna show you a blank month. Okay, so June of 2022. What I would literally do is either in Google Calendar or this calendar, would take it the entire week. I would put the topic. So meal prep, stress, eating, whatever it is. And then I would just be able to go to my calendar and be like, oh, it's Sunday. I'm planning out my content for the week. Okay, this week I'm going over meal prep. Perfect. I can do that. All right. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest. I have a meeting that's starting in 8 minutes. So I want you to know that I love you lots. I really do. I'm very excited for you. If you're still on, thanks for sticking on with me for 90 minutes. You're awesome. You probably already knew that though. And I hope you post in the group. I also hope you send me a message and tell me what it is that you need. Because I want you to help I want to help you get your transformation, but I can't want it more than you do. So you're amazing. I love you lots. Enjoy your weekend. Do something fun. Oh my gosh. Y'all need to have more fun in your life. We all do. You're amazing. I'll talk to you later. I hope you follow directions, do your homework, and I will talk to you soon.